Hunger in America, hunger in Cook County, hunger here in this neighborhood is a solvable problem. And the solution is here, in this room, right now. In a moment, you will hear testimonials from individuals who have been inspired by their own faith to take action. You will also hear about the many forms that that action takes. Hopefully you'll be inspired by a couple of them. And as you sit and listen and engage in the dialogue, our hope is that you will be inspired to act, to join with us, not just in feeding the hungry every day, but in our work, in our fight to end hunger in our community.
Hunger does not have a sign that says, I don't have enough food to make it the rest of the week. Hunger does not have a sign. Hunger can be a shirt, a tie, and a suit. Hunger can be somebody who looks well on the outside, but may be suffering on the inside. So we can't, someone told me, well, no one in my community is hungry. But when you look at the stats of information, you'll see hunger is everywhere. And for many people in our, in our church, and even for some of us, we may be the loss of a job away, a major medical catastrophe away from being in that same line. So to treat people with dignity, to take this as an urgency, is not something that we gather on Wednesday morning because we have nothing else to do. This is we have declared war on hunger. We're going to feed everyone, and the mission of the Greater Chicago Food Depository, providing food for those who are hungry while striving to end hunger in this community that we all represent.
So I think being with people on the side, and then constant conversation, awareness with the grassroots workers in all these programs in our local setting. I think that is a reminder to make me more aware so that I can directly go to action for advocacy and other involvement. So we as faith workers, I know we are using pulpit and our own networking as a faith leader, yet we need to be there with the people in that setting, and really they are the teacher, they are the reminder, they are the genuine, the persuader for my work, my own action. So that's my suggestion to all of us.
I think it has to come from the heart. There's a conversion that takes place in order to actually say, well, this person doesn't have not even the basic needs that I have. How do I help? And so it comes from the heart that we can then do something. We can be preaching every Sunday about many things, but if that preaching doesn't take place in reality in the lives of the people, especially those who need it the most, then where's this preaching going?
The reality is that clergy have great power if they use it. Speaking from the pulpit is a remarkable tool. Organizing our communities to do advocacy is effective. What I have learned again and again is that elected officials sit up and pay attention when people of faith come into their offices. They understand that the clergy represented in this room and at this table represent thousands of their constituents, thousands. But we have to help people understand not only the power of advocacy, but how to do advocacy effectively. If we don't organize our houses of faith to be advocacy centers, this legislation isn't going to be changed.
The abundance of God's creation is sufficient. That the problem is not that there is not enough abundance, but that something is getting in the way. That thing that's getting in the way is usually social structures and personal ambitions, social structures that involve, in some cases, greed, privilege, racism, things of that nature, which then get in the way of people being able to really truly respond to God's call to be who they are called to be and to do what they are called to do. In our tradition, we believe that the role of government is to defend the common good against the forces of narrow, personal, selfish interest, rather than the other way around.
But one of the important tradition of Prophet Muhammad is, he said, whoever saw an injustice, then he or she should change it with his hand, by action. And if he's not able to do that, then he or she should change it by words, by advocacy. And if he or not able to do that, then he or she should change it by heart. And this is the weakest of faith. I believe that all of us have good faith, not only weak faith. And if we have 800,000 people who are suffering from hunger in the Cook County alone, then this is a collective failure in our part. Prevention is very important. Building bridges with other faith communities and working together for the common good is important, because I think most of us, although we're from different denominations and different faiths, but we can agree that feeding the poor or giving the needy or preserving the family, all of this is very important to all of us. So we can agree about 99% of things, and we can work together in order to advance this cause by applying pressure on policymakers and also on corporations.